Good morning. I hope you guys are feeling good and feeling strong as I am. I've been really good at being consistent with my weekly practice. Last week we did 16 sun salutations and I practiced 5 times during the week, including the one that I recorded. So this week we are up to 20, and congratulations if you made it this far and still continuing to move on with me. Would love to have you until winter solstice, when we have worked up to 108 sun salutations to bring back the sun. So would love it if you're on this journey with us. Each week we increase by 4. So if you just practice, I've been doing 5 times a week, whatever works for you. And then, of course, I do have to let you know that I am not a yoga instructor. I am not teaching sun salutations. This is something that you need to be comfortable with on your own, and or hire or work with a yoga instructor in a class to have proper form, because that I don't do. I do this for encouragement of others and for myself. So if you'd like to join my journey with me, would love to have you. And I am just outside on my back porch, just loving this beautiful, cool morning before our heat wave truly hits us. So just wanted to share a little bit of that with you this morning. And with that, I'm gonna step inside, and you're probably going to need some water, I would guess. So since we're upping the number, we might even stop for a quick drink. We'll see how I feel. Have these beautiful jade cups made out of jade that I'm putting in my Etsy shop if you feel called. This video isn't about that, but just throwing it out there since I'm showing mine in my video. Okay, are you guys ready? So now that we're getting higher in numbers, as you've seen in the last video, if you watched it, I am, let me grab them for you, doing crystals to help me keep count. So I keep them in one pile, and then as I do one, I put one into another pile, and then I actually, let me grab one. When I complete one round, I grab the crystal in my left hand to receive the energy of that crystal, and then infuse it as I raise my hands, and then back down, and then I come back down and then release it. And you'll hear me talk about it. So let's get started. Oh, and you can do whatever form of sun salutations. You don't have to do the way that I'm doing it. And I do need to put this down a little bit so you can see me a little bit more. So whatever works for you is the point, okay? So arms up and down to prayer position. Straight back, down into plank. Into downward dog. And then back up. And straight back and back down. And I always like to start with rose quartz in my left hand and bring it up to the top, infusing the energy of that love for myself for having this practice. Back down into prayer pose, and back down and releasing it with my right hand into a separate pile, and then straight back. Back down into plank. To cobra and downward dog. And then back up again. And I'm gonna grab an ammonite for infinite manifestation and ancient wisdom. And releasing that ammonite. And I have a lot of rose quartz. I'm gonna give myself some more love. Grabbing malachite for female health. And infusing that energy into my practice. Releasing. To plank. And as you come down, breathe onto your crystals. And breathe your own life force into the energy of those crystals. And grabbing another rose quartz. Releasing. And a mookaite jasper for my inner and outer beauty. Some green aventurine for growth, interpersonal growth, and let this practice help me grow physically, mentally, and spiritually. Breathing that life force onto those crystals, adding my energy. Infusing my energy into those crystals, connecting more with them and with their purpose. And I'm now grabbing a snowflake obsidian for balance between light and shadow. Help me to see where I need to find those balances. And if you don't have crystals, that's okay. Grab gravel rock. Grab toothpicks, cotton balls, whatever you have. Whatever you have is what's right for you. And a red jasper for root energy, for grounding down into Mother Earth. And please go whatever speed is right for you. If I'm too fast, you're more than welcome to go slower. You do what's right for you. I'm grabbing another rose quartz. This practice is for you, not for me. My practice is for me. Your practice is for you. And we're halfway through. We just made it through 10. I'm going to grab an Apache Tear black obsidian for protection, so that only what is good and that is meant for me for my highest good comes to me. And sometimes things we don't like need to come to us for our highest good. We may not see it, but it happens. Such as my immune deficiency that has caused me to still be sheltering in place. Not something I would think would be for my highest good. But you know what? I probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that. I didn't grab a crystal that time. I forgot because I was talking, so I'm going to grab one now and come back up again. Grabbed a carnelian. I like to grab that halfway through for some extra added boost of energy. Coming back down into plank. Like I was saying, I wouldn't be doing this with you today if it wasn't for my immune deficiency diagnosis. I wouldn't be taking the time for me first, for this practice first, for you. So for that I am grateful. Grabbing a quartz to amplify that last carnelian. Give me the strength and the perseverance to complete today's sun salutations. Okay, grabbing petrified moon. I'm going to show this one to you. Petrified wood, a moon, for its beautiful earth energy. I'm a triple earth. I'm Taurus sun, Taurus moon, Capricorn rising. And to help me remember to stay rooted at all times. Even when I'm high energy, maintaining that connection to the earth and to that ancient wisdom. Breathe on to those crystals when you come down. All right, another rose quartz. Bringing myself love. I've made it this far. And even saying to yourself, I love you, Sheila. Thank you for being you. Thank you for prioritizing yourself. Thank you for prioritizing your body and for loving you. Grabbing a blue kyanite for overall chakra balancing. Letting all my chakras align for my greatest good and my greatest health. Thank you. We're at 16, like we were next week. Now we're working on the 4 additional for this week. All right, another carnelian for some little added boost for these last 4. Grabbing my last rose quartz, because you can never have enough love. Maybe you can't have enough love, but you could always use more. Who couldn't use more love? Green kyanite for balance in my health. Infusing that into my body and back down and straight back. And this is our last one now. Back down into plank. And then coming down and breathing onto that last crystal. Straight back, back down, and grabbing Brookite. Brookite in quartz, Synergy 12 stone, for connection to the higher realms and amplification of that. And I thank you, and namaste. Whew. Namaste. Namaste. How do you feel? That was good, wasn't it? It was good. I was showing some resistance before I did this today, which is probably common amongst all people, but I can only speak for myself as someone who hasn't incorporated regular exercise into my life throughout my whole life, something I probably should have incorporated when I was younger and never did, but here I am changing neuronal connections, changing my patterns, changing my connection to my body. And so with that resistance, I'd love it if you'd say in the comments how you deal with your resistances so that we can share with each other. For me, I have to do this first thing in the morning before I have breakfast, and then my breakfast is my reward for having done my morning sun salutations. If I wait and later in the day, I find reasons, oh, I have to do this, and oh, this is important, and oh, I have a deadline on this, and oh, whatever. So I make it a point to make it the first thing I do, whether I want to or not. And then afterwards, I'm always grateful. So I always like to remind myself just that gratefulness, that gratitude that I had the day before, and the day before that, and the day before that. And here I am today, showing gratitude and thanks for having done this with you today. And thank you for having done this with me today. Okay, have a beautiful weekend. We did 20, next week 24. See you then.